Hello, and welcome to Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kahl Miller. I'm an astrologer in private practice for more than 30 years, and I'm about to show you how to calculate your chart using a tool that I've put on my site especially for you to use. Now, before I begin, I want to say that it's important that you have an accurate to the minute birth time, and there are two reasons why. Firstly, it's the difference between a chart that describes you with scary accuracy and a chart that hits some great points but misses on many others. Now, I know that the accuracy of an interpretation of your chart also depends on the source of interpretations, but even the best astrologer can fail if they are working off bad data. Secondly, it also makes a difference in terms of the timing of events in your life. Using the wrong birth time can result in great accurate predictions about phases that you'll absolutely go through during your lifetime, but the timing of those phases can be off by weeks, months, or even years. So, an accurate birth time is really important, and most people can find one for themselves. So, if you can use your accurate birth time, please do it. But if you don't have an accurate birth time and you really want to see your chart right now, go ahead and use your best guess or use noon if you have no guess at all. Noon is actually a good thing to use. The chart that you end up with is not going to have an accurate moon. The moon's sign might be wrong, as well as the moon's position. The ascendant and the midheaven will absolutely not be right, and lots of other things won't be right, but a lot of things will be, and there will be enough to pique your interest. And when you discover a more correct birth time in the future, come back and do it again because the chart will contain so much more information for you. In the paragraph next to this video, I've linked an article for you called How to Search for Your Birth Time, and it will help you if you need to do that. It's worth doing, and it's easier than you think. Now I'll show you how to cast your chart. It's in step 2. For now, we're just going to put in a random birth date, then choose the hours in AM or PM. This is 1500 hours or 3 p.m. And then the minutes in this field right here. And then start to type in your birth city, and the page will give you some options. I have chosen Independence for this example because there are so many of them in the United States. You might have to choose the correct state if your hometown is repeated in another state. It's possible that the town you were born in doesn't show up in this atlas at all, and in that case, you want to choose a bigger town or city as close as possible to your birthplace. And when you've selected the place, hit this calculate button, and here's the chart. Ta-da! Now you can see your chart, and as you can see, it's a really long page. And if you scroll down, there are some fabulous tables here for you, including one that shows you all the planets in your chart with their symbols and their names in English, and the sign each one is in with its sign symbol, and the house that it's in, too. You can see that the asteroid goddesses are here: Ceres, Pallas, Athena, Juno, Vesta, including Chiron, also both of the nodes, and even the ascendant and MC, which is the midheaven, are here too. And these are things I really wanted you to have. And in the table below, it even shows you the signs on your house cusps. And I want to say a word about house systems right now. This chart is set to use the Placidus house system, which is most commonly in use right now. I use the Placidus system because it gives a high degree of precision in the house cusps. I actually tested about 6 different house systems in the course of my 3 decades plus of practice and landed with the Placidus system ultimately because of its accuracy. There is an older, more traditional technique that fell out of fashion for centuries but has come into common use today called whole sign houses, but using it can result in moving a planet from one house into another, and that can yield some misleading interpretations because of the house changes. Whole sign houses are best used for horoscopes, where they do a great job. Horoscopes are more general. They're interpretations that are geared toward everyone who shares a sign, and because they're generalized by sign, they don't need the same precision that a natal chart does. So that's why you'll find the charts you make using this calculator are in Placidus, not whole sign houses. Now that you've got your chart, you're almost done here. But there's one last really important thing to do right now while you have this chart in front of you. You'll want to screenshot this chart and also screenshot the two tables underneath it. So I know how to do this on my device that I'm on right now. And I'm just going to capture the chart itself in full. And then I'm going to capture this table right here. And then I'm going to capture all of this table right here as well. And then you want to save that someplace that you can find it. After you've completed step 2 and you get to step 3, this is where you get to download a PDF that I made called The Key to the Symbols of Astrology. It has in it all of the symbols that you'll find in a birth chart, along with their names and even some meanings for the planets, the signs, nodes of the moon, houses, aspects, and shows you how some of these things fit together in their elements and qualities, and gives you even the natural chart, which is a diagram of all the planets in the signs and houses that they rule. This key is really like a crash course in astrology on only 4 pages. It has an analogy that lets you understand how the chart is like the theater or the drama of your life, and also a resource list at the bottom. So you're going to want to save this with your charts and tables. Then in step 4, you'll get to watch the chart introduction video. This is the same video I give every new client I see, even if they already know a lot about astrology. And I'm told that even students of astrology and other professionals learn something new when watching this video. Plus, it also explains some of the philosophy behind my approach, which is a very free will oriented approach and not at all fatalistic. I think you'll enjoy it. Then finally, in step 5, you'll find a whole host of resources you can use to research your chart. Some of them are articles or categories on my blog where you can learn about things you find in your chart, and those are free. Others are recordings that you can buy for not very much. Each one is rich with deep information about something very specific in your chart, such as your moon sign or how you're wired for relationships, career, or money. Now that you've found your way to this page, you can return as often as you like, cast more charts, and save them for yourself. All right, go on to step 2 now and cast that chart.